What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight! Alright, we're coming back to Ayreon. Yes, indeed. Ayreon Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Bill Schaffer, and Bill wanted to see me react to this song by Ayreon called Everybody Dies.
Oh God, kill me now.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Arjan Anthony Lucassen, okay? And the video has 804,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Ayreon, Everybody Dies. Ayreon Universe. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
This is unknown, this is not good at all. Gonna die, everybody You've already run out of time. It's rotting and deteriorating from the inside. There's no way to stop it. Clearly there's no way to hold.
Everything
survival rate 0%. The world goes boom. None will be spared. So don't just shoot that ragged clothes or a silver spoon. You're all the same when extinction looms. The food supply, the water supply, the power supply, the water supply, no compromise. Say goodbye, and everybody dies. No explanation, no clarification, no information, no justification. Forget the why. Just give me your eyes. Everybody dies. It's not like you're screaming, cause somehow we're looking to life. You best stop, just shut up and turn up the roof. The world is black, no way back, no way up the track. Path of attack, to recognize your panic in mind. Everybody dies. And in the earth when all is silent, the core is melting down. The quantum supernova blasting down. Starts materializing, everybody dies.
So the female vocalist comes out, sings those two lines, and then she just casually strolls off the stage right like a boss. She just comes out, sings that line, and looks at the crowd and goes, "Yeah, I just did that," and just boom, walks out with 0 F's given. I love that. I love that. Some really great things happening musically. For starters, oh God, I don't even know where to begin. The female vocalists, I love what they did at the beginning along with the male lead. Very full sounding. Even going up into that upper register, it still sounded full, which I was very impressed by. The keyboard doubling the vocalist's melodic line. I'm not usually the biggest fan of that, but in this situation, I think it works, and I would dare say it's necessary, considering how the fact that the lead vocalist was pretty much on his own. I mean, there was really, the drumming was happening, but that was pretty much it. So, because everybody else was laying out. So having the keyboard line accompanying and doubling the vocal line, I think that was a smart move, actually, just to kind of help reinforce and give it a little extra oomph. The syncopation that's happening within the guitars and the bass and the drums on those accents, really nice, very well done. The other two male vocalists coming out, doing the trade-offs, and then the lead vocalist coming in to split. I think that's a really nice move, very smart call. It sounds really good. It sounds very well executed, very clean. I have absolutely no idea what the song is about. I have no clue. I get the feeling they're telling a story of some kind, but I don't know what the story is. Now, does it really matter? No, not to me, honestly. It's more, to me, it's more about the music and the playing, the arranging, what's happening musically, the execution. That's what really matters to me. I really don't care what the story is about. It makes zero difference to me. But it sounds good. Whatever it is they're selling, I'm buying it. So let's keep going. Let's see how this goes.
Shut up and drop away from the ultimate blast. Will be the last when it's past. So terribly fast, blind to rise. You're paralyzed and everybody dies. So be red. When people have planned, the city's all dead. When action was spread, it's no surprise. Swallow the lines, everybody dies. And in the end, when all is silent, the forest melting down.
She's back!
Everybody die! Hey! 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 All the way to the back! Hey! 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 Don't get back! We are still breathing! Don't get back! That's what they want! Don't get stuck! Just keep believing! Don't lose heart! Find a way out of
Syncopation works so ridiculously tight. Sounds like one. That solo right there, it wasn't even a solo, it was a duet. It was just so tight, it sounded like one voice, the guitar and the keyboard together. Ooh, that was tight, man. It was, God. It was impressive, man, no joke. That was really well done. And then you had the bass and the guitar, the other guitar player just chunking away at it very tightly as well against it, and it just felt really nice. Oof. All the vocal work is really well done. I mean, there's nothing I've heard or seen that doesn't fit. There's nothing I've heard or seen that doesn't belong. There's nothing I've heard or seen that sticks out like a sore thumb. Everything is conducive. Everything sounds good. Everything sounds blended. Everything sounds well mixed, and the levels are all appropriate. I got no complaints. None whatsoever. Let's finish this out, and we'll get to the review. That's one? I believe it is. Wow. Wow. Best of Ayreon Live, huh? Okay. So Ayreon Universe, I guess, is the name of the compilation that, best of, I guess that's the name of the album or the project, whatever the case may be. Well, Ayreon's the name of the project. Ayreon Universe would be the name of the, I guess, compilation album. Anyway, yeah. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about that I didn't already talk about during the reaction. So I don't know if this is going to be a long review or not. I don't think it will be, but then again, you never know with me.
Yeah, right.
Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Ayreon with Everybody Dies. This was a request from Bill Schaffer. Yeah, I don't think the score is going to be that much of a surprise to everybody, considering how much I obviously enjoyed this. So let's just get to it. Out of a possible 5 stars, shockingly, I'm going to give that 5 stars. Yep, 5 out of 5 stars. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the rating I feel this song and performance deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Number 1, the song itself. A lot of fun to listen to. A lot of moving parts. It felt like at all times there was a very definite split between the main melodic line and the harmonic melodic lines. The lines were carried over the top and made the song move. Again, well, I don't know if I would use the word against, working in tandem with the bottom end, where you had all the syncopation happening between the bass and the drums and the guitars, just really chunking away and keeping that song moving forward. It never felt like any time, except for a couple of key points, it never really felt like they came together. And normally, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but in this case, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It was almost a necessity, because if they had been cohesive and they had been in line with each other the entire time, the song would have, no matter how many people you put up on stage, it's going to sound thin. You could have 20 people on stage, all singing the exact same line, playing the exact same melodic line, and it's going to sound thin. That's why you need those counter melodic lines and those harmonic lines, and you need that rhythmic pattern. You need the feel, the structure, the actual meat and potatoes of the song, the syncopated lines happening within the rhythm section. You need that to fill out the sound and differentiate between the two to really make it sound a lot bigger, and they did a great job of that. I think it sounded just fine. I really do. I think the songwriting was outstanding. I think the arrangement was outstanding. A lot of great things happening within the vocals, a lot of moving parts just in the backing vocals alone with those 3 ladies back there. Not always being prominent, but when they were prominent, boy, they were prominent. They came up to the front big time when needed, and just really helped fill out the sound and give it that little extra oomph that the song would need at times. The vocal work from everybody else involved, all of the lead vocalists, God, how many people were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 lead vocalists that were involved, contributing. And I'm going to talk more about that at the end. But whenever they would come out and whenever they would contribute, they would contribute in a very positive way. So that was really nice. Instrumentally, I think this is really what did it for me more than anything else. Don't get me wrong, seeing all the faces coming on stage, all the different people coming out and contributing, it was cool. But what really did this for me more than anything was the bass, the guitars, and the drums, and the keyboards, obviously. Some great unison lines, some great syncopated accent unison lines, which really helped fill out the sound, really helped the song chugging forward, gave it the drive and the energy that the song needed desperately. Without that, we would have had a completely different song, and I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. Now, this was fun. This was fun, and like I said, largely due to the instruments. Don't get me wrong, vocally, like I said, everybody did a fine job. Everybody sounded good. Everybody contributed in a positive way, in a very conducive way to the song. So I got no issue with anything that any of the vocalists did. But it's the instrumentation that did it for me in this. It sounded fantastic. The keyboard player doubling on the lead vocal line, like I said, I'm not always the biggest fan of that, but it was necessary in that section because everybody else was laying out. So we needed that little extra push, that little extra fullness from and the keyboard, not a bad way to go. What really impressed me more than anything, along from the syncopation and along from the unison lines with the accents, aside from that, the one solo that we had, I swear I thought it was just keyboard. I didn't know, I didn't hear a guitar, but I saw the guitar player playing the exact same line, and I had to really listen close. They were so in sync and so lined up, I swear it sounded like one voice. And I was like, wow, that was really nice. That was really cool. Very impressive to be able to be that clean, that one voice hides within the other. And that's not easy to do. All it takes is one little blip of extra bleed over, or one little, coming in a 64th note, just ever so slightly early, and you could automatically tell there's two voices. I never heard it. They were that clean together. Regarding all of the vocalists coming out on stage, I understand that for the purpose of recording, you want to get people have told me about Ayreon and what they're about, what this project, it's really a project, it is all about. It's really kind of organized by the I believe it's the lead vocalist who does it all. He does all the songwriting, all the arranging, he organizes the whole shebang, gets everybody involved. I understand for the purpose of recording, getting all those people involved, sure. Doing it in a live session, that's impressive. Getting all those same people to come out and perform live, that is a okay, I don't know if it was, but that can be a very expensive venture. Now here's the thing. When you're working with other musicians, there is, how do I put this? There is an understanding of give and take. There is an understanding of, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So there may not even been any extra costs. You'd be amazed how many favors there are in the music industry. You do something for someone, and in return they'll do something for you. Quite often gratis. Quite often just with absolutely no fee involved whatsoever. And that's a combination of mutual respect and an understanding that there is going to be that give and take. You do me this favor, I'll do you this favor later. I'll give you a classic example. Look at Motorhead. I know everyone's like, oh, here we go. Well, hey, it's not Kiss. Kiss would never do anybody any favors.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack!
But look at Motorhead. Motorhead would collaborate, Lemmy in particular, would collaborate with a lot of different individuals. He would collaborate with the Plasmatics, in particular Wendy O. Williams. He would collaborate with Girls' School. Well, actually, Motorhead as a whole would collaborate with Girls' School, and they came up with a middle project called Head Girl. which was really cool. Or like, you know, Doro Pesh, you know, you got Motorhead coming out and working with Doro Pesh, but there was, from what I understand, there was never any financial gain happening between any of those entities. They would basically help each other out, and it would always be understood that, you know, in return, they would help out the other. So, for example, Motorhead and Doro came together to work together on the song Love Me Forever. They did a remake of it with a duet. And Lemmy would, you know, appreciate it. He definitely appreciated Doro coming out and giving her time. From what I understand, she didn't ask for anything in return. So Lemmy took it upon himself to when Doro called him up and said, hey, we're doing this really big show. We're going to be filming it and whatnot. Would you mind coming out and singing the song live? We're going to perform Love Me Forever live. Would you come out and perform live with us? And he would do it. And then she would turn around and she would go and fly out for a Motorhead show in return. It was just that, and again, nothing was asked in return. It was just that understanding of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And that happens a lot. Well, at least it used to. I don't know how much it happens nowadays, but I know back in the 80s and 90s, it happened a lot. And that's really cool. I can definitely appreciate and respect that. But nowadays, it's all about money. Unless you know each other really well and you're tight. And it looks like everybody involved vocally is pretty tight with each other. So could this be an expensive venture to do live with having all of these guest vocalists? It could be, but then again, it could be one of those situations of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You give me the exposure, you know, in front of a huge audience, and I'll come out and I'll do it for free type of thing. So I mean, that it could be that, or maybe they'll say, listen, I'll come out and perform for you for this concert. In return, I'm gonna need your help later on arranging a song. You know, that could very well be the trade-off as well. There's a lot of things you could trade off with each other, so that very well could be the case, or it could just be a financial thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think though, if it's a financial thing, that could get expensive depending on how many shows you do. If you only do the one show, it's a one-off. You know, you pay them. You know, you pay for their travel expenses obviously, and then you pay them just a base rate of whatever they want, and you know, and I'm sure it's a reasonable number. And if it's only for one show, no big deal. If it's a tour and you're doing like, you know, 40 shows, 50 shows, 80 shows, that could rack up pretty quick. But you know, then again, if you're making enough money off of every show, it doesn't really matter because it'll end up paying for itself. So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there. I don't know what, and I don't know what their arrangement is. I have no idea. I don't know if anybody knows other than them. So they may keep that really hush-hush for all we know. But in any case, it was great seeing all those vocalists come out, and they all contributed at some point in some way, in a positive way, in a conducive way to the song. So I got no issue with it. I got no problem with it. I have questions about the logistics of it, but they did it and they pulled it off, so I'm not complaining about that at all. No, look, this was an impressive performance, a very impressive performance. Plus, he had some great production to boot. Some great interaction on stage. And like I said, I'm sure that there is a story being told here. This is probably like one chapter of one long, gigantic story that's being told, you know, over the course of the entire album that was recorded in order to support this tour, or the tour is supporting that album, I should say. So I'm sure there is a story there. I'm sure there is. Does it matter to me? Honestly, no, it really doesn't. Remember, guys, lyrics just go over my head anyway, so I'm not gonna get them no matter what. You guys can tell me in the comments all you want about what the story's about. Does it affect the score? No, not in any way, because I'm basing my score completely on the musicianship and the songwriting. It has nothing to do with the story. So I'm sure there's a story there. I'm sure it's interesting. If you want to tell me in the comments what it's about, okay, fine, but don't expect me to change the score just because of the story, because guys, that's just not gonna happen. Besides, you're getting 5 stars. It's the highest score you could possibly get, so just take the win, trust me. So anyway, 5 out of 5 stars. I feel good about that score, and that is where we're gonna stay. So 5 out of 5 stars, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.